Hello everyone. We are going to revise the chapter of decimals now. Let us start with the revision. The name of the chapter is decimals. In that we study decimal numbers. And when we study decimal numbers, by that I mean we will be studying the operations that will perform on these decimal numbers. So what are the operations that we perform on decimal numbers? Let us just see that. The first operation we perform is compare. We'll compare two or three decimal numbers. The next operation we perform is convert. We'll convert the decimal numbers from one form into another form. Like from, let's say there are some length of an object. So that will be in centimeter, we'll convert that to meter. Or if the length is given in meters, we'll convert that to centimeters. So there are conversions that we'll do in this. Next is we'll add the decimal numbers. And finally, of course, when we add, we know we'll subtract as well. So in this year for grade 6, we have only this as the scope of the chapter. Next year we will also be doing something more, maybe multiplication, division, but that we'll see as we go to the next year. For the time being, we only have this as the scope of the chapter. We'll just compare the decimal numbers, we'll convert the decimal number into one form to another, add the decimal numbers together, and we'll subtract the decimal numbers. That's all that we'll do. Let's see which is greater now, 299 or 300. Anybody will ask, what kind of question is that? We know 300 is greater. And second is, this is not even a decimal number. Yeah, but I don't want to take decimal number directly. I want to establish a basic fact here. Which is that, please see this. 299, 300, 300. Now 299 is written as this, but if you observe carefully, the boxes that I have chosen are having different colors. The box which is darker in shade is actually the box that carries more weight. This is where hundreds place is. Slightly lighter shade is for the tens place. This is slightly lesser valued box. And the box that carries minimum weight, minimum value here is the box that is given the most light color. So I am using the color code so that we have no confusion, we understand this. Now clearly because 299, all the two digits are greater here. This is 0. But this number is greater because 3 and 2, 3 is greater. And if your number or if your digit in the more important box, more important place is greater, then that number is greater. So we don't compare every digit. We compare starting from the most important digit. And that is why we are starting from the left towards the right. So what is there on the left is the most important digit. The digit that has maximum value. And from here, we are going towards the right. The value will keep on reducing. And we'll go till we don't find the distinguishing point, such as if this was 2 and this was 2 as well, then I would have compared the next digits. If the digits were equal, I would compare the next digit and so on. But the first time I see a difference, then I notice that which number is greater, which digit is greater, I declare that number to be the greater number. In the first glance itself, we see that this number is smaller, this number is greater because 2 is smaller than 3. So we don't have to even compare this. So this number is greater. The same logic shall apply for decimal numbers as well. The different positions, this is the principle based on which we'll compare. This is the important point. Different positions have different weights. The position in the most right part of the number has minimum weight, minimum value. And the position which is leftmost has maximum weight, that has the maximum value. Let's see with the decimal numbers now. Comparing the decimal numbers. Which number is greater, 2.035 or 2.1? This is just an example. You can compare other numbers. 2.035 and 2.100. This 100 was never there, it was only 2.1. But we know that if in a decimal number there is 2.1, then we can add, after the last digit, we can add as many zeros as you like. Once the decimal point is crossed and you reach the last digit, after that you can add as many zeros as you like. You can add one more zero or one more zero, there is no problem. Here as well you can add zeros, there is no problem. And before the decimal point, the first digit that you see, leftmost digit, this digit, beyond this, towards the left of this digit, you can add as many zeros that you like. So this zero, we can add zeros here as well. It will not change the number. We can add zeros this side, that will not change the number. But we cannot insert zeros in between here. That will change the number. This zero you can add, but between 2 and 1 you cannot add zero. So these are the digits where you don't have a chance to add zeros here. But in the end you can add zeros. At the start you can add zeros as many as you like. In decimal numbers, to compare or to add or to subtract, we tend to add these zeros here. But without wasting any time, we will discuss this, we all know this. So without wasting any time, we just compare the decimal numbers. Now as we see, the most significant or the most important digit is given a darker shade box. But these two are equal, 2 and 2. So we'll now go to the next number, and this box is slightly lighter in shade because this value of the digit is not as much as this. This is ones digit, ones place. This place is 1 by tens place. This will be 1 by hundreds place. This will be 1 by thousands place. We know this. We have done this before. Now what we are going to do is we just compare, and here we see that the two digits are not equal. So which digit is greater? This digit is greater. This number is greater. It will not matter that there is 3 here, there is 0 here, but on this count this is greater. 5 here, 0 here, on this count this is greater. It will not matter. What matters is when the position is such that the highest value position, if the digits are not equal, then which digit is greater, that number is greater. Now the highest value they are equal, but the second highest, there is a difference. So the number which has highest digit is the greater number. So we know that 2.1 is greater than 2.035. Let's see the next one. Addition of the decimals. What is 2.497 plus 1.96? Let's see this. 2.497, the first number. And now I am adding 1.96. This is only 1.96, but we know we can add 0 in the end if we want. So to make the like decimals, we added 0 here so that there are 3 decimal places after the decimal point, 3 digits after decimal point in both the numbers. Now what we'll do is we'll add them together. 7 plus 0 will be 7. 9 plus 6 will be 5 with 1 carry. This is 5 here. 4 plus 9 will be 13 plus 1 carry 14. So we'll write 4 here and 1 carry here, and 1 plus 2 plus 1 will be 4. Let's see if you get the same answer. Here 4.457. 7. 9 plus 6 is 15. 1 is carry. 4 plus 9, 13 plus 1 is 14. We write 4 here. 1 carry again. 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, 4. And we get the answer. It is extremely important that you make sure that whenever you are adding decimal numbers or whenever you are subtracting decimal numbers, do not mistaken about this. Don't make a mistake about this. Make sure that the decimal points are perfectly aligned. If you make sure that the decimal numbers are perfectly aligned, and if you maintain the space between adjacent digits, if two digits are separated by equal space and if the decimal numbers are perfectly aligned, you will never make a mistake with addition or subtraction of decimal numbers. Because the basic addition you already know. I don't have to teach you that. But if you follow this discipline properly, you will have no problem. But if you don't follow this, then the chances of making error creep in. We have to be sure that after we have studied the entire chapter, it is our responsibility to make sure that after a lot of hard work, we want to make sure that we get the result out of it. A lot of hard work can go in vain if we make mistakes in the paper. We should not be doing that. So please take my word, take my advice, and make sure that the decimal numbers are perfectly aligned with each other. Now the last part, we have subtraction. the subtraction of decimal numbers. What is 2.497 minus 1.96? The same numbers we're talking about. 2.497, 1.96, again the trailing zero is added here in the end. And now, subtract karenge. 7 minus 0 is 7. 9 minus 6 is 3. 4 minus 9, we cannot do 4 minus 9. So we'll take 14 here. We will borrow 1 from here. So this becomes 14. 14 minus 9 is 5. Because 1 was borrowed here, this is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. And we get the answer 0.537. This is the subtraction. Again, the basic discipline, again make sure that the decimal numbers are perfectly aligned. If they are perfectly aligned, you will not make any mistake about it. Then you don't have to worry about anything else. It's just a subtraction. You know how to subtract, and the decimal numbers are so perfectly. Decimal points are aligned, so you also know where your decimal point in the answer shall be. So you don't have to worry about anything. I hope you understand this. This is just the revision of basic key points in this chapter. All the best. Thank you.